And coming up in this episode.
Oh, so you got an admission and actually paid the school fee?
Oh, yes.
And then what happened?
I was denied visa.
No. Why? On what grounds?
If you decide that you want to come and move from, point A to point B, you must learn.
Yeah.
If you feel that you have somebody there doing it for you, no. You must learn.
You have to do it
if you are not ready to learn,
Yeah.
then just forget
Don't
about
try
it.
it,
Yeah, that's one thing I just want to put out there.
This is the real life experiences of immigrants in the diaspora. Welcome to the BO podcast. And I am your host, Becky Onyango. And today we have a very special guest who is going to share the experience living abroad. Stay tuned.
Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of the BO podcast. I'm your host Becky Onyango and thank you so much for tuning in. And also remember to like, share and subscribe to the channel. And today we have a very special guest with us and this is John. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So he's just going to take us through his journey of moving all the way from Nigeria to Germany and what the experience has been, and hopefully you can learn one or two things.
I will tell you one thing. If you want to start this process, you must be patient.
Yeah.
If you're not patient, then I don't know what I could say anymore. You must be.
You must
MUSB. You must be patient.
Yeah,
You
it
must be
doesn't
patient.
happen immediately.
And this is what I learned. And hopefully I was able to talk about it and move forward. I tried with my admission. I wrote IELTS. The use
The
of
English test. You
English
could not
test.
use your the PT results, or that one was just specific?
Oh,
for-
one thing I was told particularly is I have my proficiency in English from my university, but a friend of mine told me, he said, IELTS is a British standard recognized test all over the world.
Yeah.
And it is more recognized and gives faster admission than your proficiency in English.
Okay, got it.
So I thought it was a joke. Sometimes when people give you information, I thought it was. I said, I know how to speak English. Why do I have to prove myself? I have to speak English. Stuff like that. So I was adamant. I had to write the exam back in my country and submit the results. If you still want, I have my results here, so I can still show you the proof of my results. So I have my results, and I had to submit it. Believe you me, under 2 days I got an admission.
Wow.
And I've been trying with my proficiency from my local university.
And
I
it
didn't
was
get.
not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gives me that reasoning of listening to my agents.
Yeah.
They know more.
Yeah.
They know best. So
Yeah, because they
listening
have
to
the
them.
experience with
Yeah,
them.
but this is my experience. It doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
I have some of my friends who practically did this on their own.
On their own, yeah.
Without no help. So I was lucky for me because, family.
Yeah. They gave you the information, they were able to,
I was connected with a family and, they gave me the information. It was easier for me to pass along, moving forward and doing everything. All I just had to do was what? Pay.
to pay and submit the documents.
That's all
and
right.
show up.
Show up.
And how was the visa process like for you?
Oh, now after getting the admission, again, getting the admission is not 100% guaranteed.
Did you have PTSD this time around? From the previous experience.
I kept to myself.
Okay.
It's an experience. So I kept to myself. I was like, okay, this is Germany. I've gotten an admission. I got a visa date. So what are they expecting me? So I started studying. Straight up. I started studying the language, the early language. I went on YouTube. I had to burn every penny I have on learning. Like any small penny I had then on learning.
Wow.
I just had to learn those words I could be able to speak with the interviewer because they know that I haven't been to Germany.
Yeah.
I'm just learning. So I just learned the basic things, which is hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I just learned how to introduce myself.
Wow.
That's all I learned on YouTube.
Yeah.
I just learned it on YouTube, and YouTube is a good teacher also.
Yeah.
So I just learned it on YouTube.
We call it the University of YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube University.
So I just learned it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I learned the numbers, and in particularly, I learned the city I'm coming to,
Oh, wow.
the district I'm coming to, the city, the Berlin, the mayor, the everything. So this is it. If you're
And who
going
gave
to,
you this information on the preparation?
it was easier for me because people were doing the hard work for me. That was not giving me the right not to learn or not to ask questions. So I went online. I will start searching how to come to Germany, what to do when you come to Germany, how to do when to come to Germany, stuffs like that. I was also looking at what are the questions also to expect from the interview at the embassies. Every embassy differs. What are the to expect, just unquote. And I joined a forum. So I went there, and we have a lot of students who wants to come, those that are being denied, those that are there that are advising people how to come and what to do and what not to do. And I read the questions, and I see the form of encouragement, and I saw some of the questions and some of the things allegedly to expect. You don't know what to expect. It can be an exam, it can be a mathematics, it can be oral, it can be so many things. So I think I focused more on my course that I'm studying. I had to learn about my course because I got an admission of being a global studies program, and it's all about interrelated with my psychology, social sciences, and social work of a thing. So it's more interconnected with all over. And this is my course. I have every single person from different parts of the world in that class.
Wow. It's
I am
very
the-
international.
International, yeah. That's why I say interrelated. So I have somebody from China, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, America, Egypt.
Wow.
All in one class, bringing your view, bringing my view. We share into the center, and we put an interpretation of what we feel could be the best solution. Is it my African one? It could be the solution. Is it from the Egyptian? It could be the solution. From the Pakistan. So the ideas just trooping and keep
Brings
coming.
a lot of exposure also.
Genau. I mean, yes again. So I keep speaking this German. And I focus more on my courses, what to expect, so what I was going to study, how to study, and stuff like that. And focus more on my city. Focus more who is my mayor, who is my governor, who is my district attorney. Focus more on the capital. Focus more on the environment. Focus more on the country that I'm going to. The land borders. How many borders are there? Yeah, how many borders are there with Germany? This is a long time ago, so I'm trying to remember. So how many? Who is the chancellor now?
Yeah.
Who is the president? I still remember then is Martin Steiner.
Wow.
Yeah. So then it was Angela Merkel. Now we have Olashov, right? Some of the mistakes some of us do is they just go to it and they ignore. I learned it. I had to read it. I can still remember. I read all this in 2019, but I can still remember some of them because I really put my passion in it because I want to. Because one thing a lot of new upcomers need to learn is you will be tested by a reverse psychology at the embassy. They will want to know, do you really mean what you say or you are cramming it? Literally, because I'm still coming to my interview because I'm telling you what I learned, how I learned it, and I put focus. Remember, I told you every penny I have, I put in more on learning. I went as early as possible. Always go early. As early as possible.
No African time.
No African time. Yeah, no African time. Unless you lose your spot. And no, sorry. No, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late. Traffic. Blah, blah. No. They don't take those excuses. And when I went there, I was, second. And, I was told to arrange all the documents, my admission, my payment, Remember, we had to create a block account. Yeah, we had to create a block account of, I don't know how much now. But
right now it's around 11,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from that 8,000, I think during your time it was around
8,000.
8,000, yeah.
8,000. 11, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
So
Inflation.
yeah, so we had to create a block account because a lot of people might be asking, why do I have to create a block account? And for me, I had the same question while I was coming. And block account is more like you have to prove your financial stability to stay in Germany. And for me, is the number one key factor of your coming. I told you getting admission is not just it. There are so many factors that play around the admission. So like I said again, for me, I have a very good family with me, and before I even got the admission, the block account has been paid by my brother in Australia. So I was so grateful for everything. It's good to have a family support, love, and stuff like that. It plays one key major role.
And then I think also with this family support, I think we get to appreciate it even more once you come to these Western countries and realize how lonely it can be here.
Oh, of course. I don't even let us not even go there because that's another story on its own. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
So I got to the embassy. Usually embassy is not going to make it easy for you. Embassy is going to give you that tough time, pisses you off, gets you angry. They want to, they don't want to give you you think they don't want to give you or they don't want to help you, but actually they're actually trying to shape you. They're actually trying to make you to be patient. All those things you're going to learn it along the way anyways. So I got in there and I can still remember the question I was asked. I was asked, why Germany? Why not any other country? And I spoke to them about the free tuition fee. And I spoke to them about the standard environment of living. I spoke to them about the passion of my course that I'm going to study, which is interrelated with my psychology. And I told to them about the history of Germany, the Berlin Wall, and some of the landmarks that I would like to see and study. And I focus more of my answers on education and bring it or put it in a positive way in enhancing my perception down to the grassroots back in my country.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I did. I don't know if you understand me. Maybe if I can give you more details about. Yeah.
No, you can, sure. But I totally get the picture. You have to show the connection.
Yep.
On how you're going to grow from your current career and how coming to Germany would build your career further, or rather your education background in this case.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So then you go ahead, you get the visa, secure the visa, and now you're on your way to Germany. So how was that transition for you?
Let me start with everybody needs to be prepared mentally. You need to be prepared mentally. Getting the admission, I was prepared, but I was doubting myself because I don't know if I did well or not. Because you wouldn't know. Every little thing you say is being typed down. So they want to know, does this guy really know what he want to say? Is this guy really know what he's doing? And, I had this anxiety within me, like, oh God, I don't want what happened to me
to happen again
in Australia that I wanted to plan to happen again. So I was having, this phobia.
But just a quick question. Normally, when you're submitting your visa application, you do hand in also, like, apart from your documents, you hand in your passport, right?
No.
You don't hand in your passport at that point?
No. Your passport will be collected and checked and be given back to you.
And
in my country.
Okay.
In my country during my time. I don't know of any other people's,
And so when they give you the visa, they don't put it on your passport?
No, this is how it works.
Yeah.
After your visa interview, they will give you a response. We need a proof of how do they put it? Because sometimes, due to appointment dates, every university on the admission paper has its time for resumption. Like in my own time, I had my admission in in March. And my courses starts in April, but my interview was in June.
So that's like 2 months later.
2 months later. So after the whole interview, she said that I have to still prove to them that I can still be accepted to my university. So they need a letter of confirmation from my admission office, which gratefully I was given a 12-day extension from my university. 12 days. So I need to be in Germany in 12 days. You understand? So that was the case for me. And by then, my passport has been given to me. Because it takes, in my country, it takes, because I use emphasis on my country because I'm speaking from my own experience. So it takes 2 to 3 weeks for them to get back to you in my country. Back then, that's during 2019. I had to submit back the response of the email I received from my lecturer, the supervisor, down to the embassy. Then I was given an appointment, a new appointment letter to bring an envelope, dispatch envelope with my passport. So that's how it works in my country. So once you do it the first time, they give you back your passport. You go back, and for me, I don't know why they did it like that, but I don't know. Maybe because they were waiting for the
Confirmation.
for the confirmation of the school of 12 days. Because I know if if the second person I knew of was, she didn't take her passport. She left her passport with them. That I know of. She left her passport with them. So after 2 weeks, every document was given back to her with a letter of denial. Yes, a letter of denial and reason for the denials of the passports. I mean of the visa and stuff like that. But I, on the other hand, was called to come and submit the letter and submit my passport.
Oh yeah, because I thought normally they would take the passport if they're going to accept it, but if it's an automatic denial, they would know it over there and just return all your documents.
Personally, I feel it has to do with your consulate. Every consulate has its own procedures, and whoever is handling your papers, it's different. So I think it's everybody has different experience and procedures. I believe by now you could have heard some other people how they experience it. So I think it has to do with the consulate. So mine, this was how I went with my own, and it's very strange though, but it was.
But it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out because I was patient.
Yeah.
So
Patience is key. Yeah.
I'll keep emphasizing on the word patience because I had to learn it that way, and so that was it. And
so you came around the period of June.
Yeah, I came ending of the summer.
Summer, June.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how was the transitioning or trying to catch up with schoolwork? Because already the semester you're supposed to join.
Oh, yeah. I was given a stay of I should wait. Like my lecturer was, my supervisor said, okay, I could wait for the next batch. Now that I'm here. So he explored me to, move around the city, learn, understand the culture, because these are new to you. You're in a new environment. So go around, see what you can fish out, see what you can learn, and what you can adapt from the society. Okay. So that's the starting point from me. But if you want to know in a nutshell about the transitioning and the knowing of everything, is I wouldn't say it was a pleasant one, because usually it's not always funny. Transiting from one country to another. First of all, the language deficiency. Second of all, the roads, the area. Third of all, housing was a problem. And I don't know if you permit me to say this. You actually were the one who put me in the house when I came over. You actually housed me.
Yeah, for the first night.
For the first night, 3 nights I stayed.
Yeah, for 3 nights.
3 nights.
When John came over the first time. So the thing is, because I personally, the experience that I had as a student, and this is actually the reason why I'm doing this. I know how much I suffered the first time I came. I really suffered. Guys, I suffered 8 months without accommodation.
Really?
Yes, without formal accommodation for myself.
Good Lord.
I had to sleep on the floor in somebody's room.
Wow.
And shout out to Awino. She was a really nice lady. She was doing her PhD at that time.
Ah, okay.
And when I met her, she just said, okay, you know what? Yeah, you can sleep on the floor. Because, it was a really small room, student rooms. So I know that struggle in the beginning of accommodation. So whenever I get the chance to help whoever I can with accommodation, I would gladly do it. Because, we all know in Germany right now, there's a big problem with accommodation. I don't know why, but hopefully the situation will be able to change.
Yeah, there's a big problem in housing. Yes. A shout out to Becky. She helped me, the first few days. Not just Becky and our boyfriend. He helped me to, transitioning into the society, teaching me some stuff and that. Because I must say, if you think you want to do it on your own in a foreign land, then I will say it in my language. They play.
Absolutely, you need a community. You need to reach out to your people.
You need help.
Yeah,
you need help, and I was fortunate enough to meet Becky, and they were able to help me with accommodation, and put me to some other things and stuff like that. So shout out to you. And also, speaking of other challenges, work sometimes, again, the language.
Yeah. So language is a big aspect here, especially if you're trying to integrate in just the normal daily.
Oh yes, yes. The language is quite difficult for me because I've learned so many languages. So putting another one again is quite difficult. So for me personally, it's difficult, but I'm still learning, and I'm learning because.
But the one thing I feel like the world is not aware of: Africans speak a lot of languages.
Oh, they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know. They don't know African.
You'd find an African, at least they would speak like 3 or 4 languages. Really,
they don't know because that brings me back to the cultural diversities. You come to a foreign land and they only know how to speak Dutch and German. German language. So they don't know any other language. I think some of them might be opportunities to, they have the opportunity to know maybe Spanish.
Yeah.
Or I think Spanish, or Mexican. Yeah, they still speak the same language, Spanish. So I think the second relative language they like to learn is Spanish and French.
French,
but I think French is less. But it was a barrier, for those coming. Expect it, pick 1 or 2 languages wherever you are in your local area, and it will help you for the first months, 2 months. You're here. At least you could be able to say, "I'm lost. Where am I going? Can you help me?" and stuff like that. You're gonna need it. On the long way, if you want, anyway.
Yeah.
So, but then the third thing, I think, I've spoken about housing.
Yeah, housing.
Talking about language and
now the jobs.
Before I go to the jobs, I will go to the transport system.
Oh yeah, that's another big factor.
So for me, the transport system.
Oh my God, I just had a
new.
flashback.
Yeah. The transport system was new to me because I was not used to the train.
Yes.
I wasn't used to the train. I was scared. I was really scared, and I was not used to taking the tram. I was literally not used to a lot of things. So now I'm trying to get used to them, not now. I'm trying to get used to some of them. And literally, I don't know if I told you this, due to the fact of how wide, we are in the district of Berlin City, and due to how wide and big Berlin is, do you know I got lost?
Oh, you can totally get lost because all the buildings, all the roads, they look the same.
Similar, yeah. So I got
I also
lost.
had the same problem.
I got lost on the train, and I don't know what they say in the train because of the language.
Yeah, they make the announcements in German, yeah.
So, it takes a while before it sank into my consciousness. And, in time, you really get confused.
Yeah.
There's one other factor. Clothing. do you believe, you know, I think I would like to use myself as a point of example.
Okay.
I didn't know while I was coming. I know there's cold and there's wind, but I didn't know the level
Of coldness.
of cold. Yeah,
I call it the weather shock.
So, you know,
When you first come.
I came in the summer, so it was sunny. So I was feeling heat, you know, and my first experience was when your friend came to pick me in the airport. It was around 5 p.m., you know, when I came to Berlin. And, you know, back in my country, once it's 5, 6, the sun starts coming down. But I was here 5, 6, 7. The sun is still up. And I was like,
What is that?
what is happening?
Oh, there's something wrong with your watch.
I didn't know it was the time.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, oh, I'm here. So maybe it's still 5, it's still 6. And he was at work. And I was like, bro, when are you going to get close? Let's go. I think the sun is about to come down. I didn't know it was 10. And the reason why I knew was that I was starving.
Oh, yeah.
I was starving. And, you know, I was starving. I was like, what's going on? Why am I hungry this
Exactly
way?
like this, yeah.
I looked at the time. I was like, what the? I was like, this is, you know, it was a new experience. So I was so shocked. Like, how can it be 10? And the sun is just coming down.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, what the hell is going on? And your friend was like, is this your first experience? I was like, well, it's my first experience anyway. He said it happens to him too.
Yeah.
So, and now the weather shock, just the way you put it, the clothing. I didn't know there was a winter wear, winter shoe.
Oh, you came summertime because most people normally come wintertime.
I think they were prepared.
Well, not okay. They are sort of prepared, but the clothing is still not enough. So yeah, I can imagine now how.
So I came in the summer, so I had no winter wear. I was literally cold killing. You know, cold really killed me. Like, you know, I was like, wow, why didn't I get a jacket? So for those of you who would like to come, prepare your jackets, prepare your hoodie, prepare your thick jeans and your thick clothes for the winter. Yeah. Then prepare your light clothes for the summer, because in the fact that it's really cold, it's also really hot. Yeah, it's vice versa. So that's another experience for me. Then moving on to the job. The job here, it's quite, some might say difficult, some might say easy in a way, depending on your experiences. So if it's job, yes, there's jobs, there's work, there's vocations, and there is activities which one could be able to do and learn, relearn and learn, relearn and improve your skills, improve your tasks and your career in a position. And I was fortunate to be a manager at Getia. Earlier on, I worked as a manager, you know, at Getia. We worked together. And it was really impressively challenging. And one thing I like about jobs in Germany is they keep challenging you to be better. They keep challenging you to do more. And you find out that you improve the better version of yourself more, better. You see yourself growing, you see yourself, you know, adapting and improving yourself. So that's one thing I like about the job situation in Germany. And it's really good, and it's enabling you to have a self-learning, self-orientation, and you get that perception of, oh, I have to learn this. I want to learn this. You know, I want to do this. I want to do that. Not just in the job, also getting the license, which is quite difficult to have.
Getting a German driving license is just another whole topic on its own. Guys, you can go check out the previous video that I did on the requirements, but it's like doing a PhD in this country, really. It can be really stressful, yeah?
Yeah, the jobs teaches you so many areas and so many things, but there are so many various opportunities and stuff like that, but I don't know if it's still a thing, because of the same language proficiency is still a barrier. But I think Berlin is now adapting and modifying to some certain areas, because they are opening their cities and people are trooping in, the workforce. I know they need more workers because of the they are more populated with the old folks, and now they need the younger generations like me and you to put in more work and improve the standard of living and the society, and also improve ourselves and improve the standard of living of ourselves also to the society. So for me, it's a good thing. I will encourage everyone to put in more effort and look at to the direction, not just in the education aspect, also the work aspect. So together with it, you have this perception of good deeds and mind-blowing mindsets.
Yeah.
And the mindset is going to be very, very strong. And for me, it's a good thing, and it's a plus for me.
Yeah. So definitely, it's enabled you to help you grow and just have a completely different perspective when it comes to work.
Yeah.
As well as school.
Yeah. You definitely gonna get a different mindset and different perspective or perception, how you represents how you give meaning back to the mental health of people, and how you give representation back of how you feel about people into the world back. So like I told you, speaking from me, translating from A to B, it's another different thing entirely. From A, I only know A. Now from B, I'm learning C, D, E, F, G, H under B.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's going to open your horizon of your mind. It's going to shape you better, challenge you more.
But you become more resilient, yeah?
Oh yeah, it's gonna because once you get that mentality and that mindset, whatever you learn doesn't come cheap. So you have to be resilient. So I don't know if it's the system, but it's just the nature of how the human minds work. You have to be resilient on how you do some certain things. Like for instance, when people say, "Oh my God," maybe back home, maybe you sent some couple of change to them, and they think maybe you perform magic. They forgot.
Or you're taking the money from the tree.
Yeah. They don't know it's your work ethic, your time, the tomorrow's the time you put in, the effort, the strength, the stamina, the mental stability that you put in this effort to work. That's the result. You cannot work and not find any results. So you must put in the work to get in the results.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is Germany for you. You must put in the work. There's no shortcuts.
There's no shortcut, absolutely.
There's no shortcuts.
Okay, nice. So is there just a parting shot, any memorable experience you've had so far, maybe with the local natives or, with your fellow immigrants per se?
I'm a very quiet person. I like to keep to myself. Not that I don't like people, in the part of the perception of behavior, I think id. So I talk to people, but
always private.
Yeah.
Keep to yourself.
I don't know if I would say I'll keep to myself, but I'm always private. Yeah. I'm a very private person, and I choose that has been my life because it's who I am. Even though I'm trying to be more exposed to people, that does not mean I don't like people, but I just try to keep private and I keep less friends. My formation is the less friends, the less problem.
Yes.
That's my formation. Less friends, less problems. More friends, more problems.
More problems.
So that's my own formation of my mentality. And speaking of it, it's a good thing. And it's also, because every time I'm not going to say everything is good. It's also a good thing and it's also a bad thing. Relating with the local folks, it's easy. Sometimes you might find it challenging. Sometimes you might find it pleasantly.
Why would it be challenging? Is it because of the language or what?
One, because of the language, and two, because of the difficulty of them understanding your style.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, in as much as I think now they enjoy African food.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, when you try to tell them to come and try this, they're like, nah.
Yeah.
I think they prefer their burgers and their chips and stuff like that. So I told them, try this African continental dish. And they were like,
they're more open to it.
Yeah. And now, they're evolving. So sometimes when we try to play with the local folks, they get, have it in mind. Perceptions differs. So, and sometimes they might feel you're playing with them as an insult or maybe as a play. And the way they play too also, I don't think a black person or someone who has that African mentality could be able to also take it and stuff like that. So, and you see the teenagers, how they behave and how they do and stuff like that in the country. So you just have to take it for who they are. So I don't know if they take us for who we are. That's the
question.
That's the question.
$1,000,000 question.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. So I think generally, all in all, it's a roller coaster. Like it's a journey where you get to learn and unlearn a lot in the process. But definitely, are you the same John that you are when you're still in Nigeria?
Of course not. I from the beginning of our conversation, I told you I transitioned from A to B. And under B, I learned C, D, E, F. So obviously, the John I was even last year wasn't the John I am today. And because you cannot stop learning.
Yeah.
You cannot stop learning. You have to keep evolving. You have to keep learning. I learned a lot in my past years since I've been here. Not just an educational expert, mentally and physically. You have to learn. Yeah. So
you're just having a constant growth mindset. Yeah.
Oh yes. We just have to have constant growth mindset, and I have a circle of friends that encourage you to grow. Because if you don't have that friends that encourage you to grow, it's a bad thing. When you have that friends that, if you permit me, I could tell you how I got my license.
Yeah, sure.
I love driving, by the way. I love it. Like, I love driving. I can't get tired of driving unless maybe I'm not in the mood to drive. So I was with my friends. We did a get together in my apartment, and a friend of mine just said, "Oh, I got my driving license." We were 5 of us in the get together. One of my friends said he has a driving. In short, 3 of my friends in the table of 5 plus me 6. 3 of them have a driving license, and we're sitting on the table, and they were having a conversation of the license, of this, of that, and that. I was envious of them. I was like, I want to be like them. And the more they talk about it and their challenges, they encourage us to do it. You will need it. Because if you turn to be a family man or anything, it will come in handy. Definitely going to come in handy. So,
and also there's some jobs which need you to have a license.
Yes, of course. There's some jobs to make you to have a license, which is difficult to get.
Yeah.
But it's going. So when I have that perception of, wow, I need to learn it. No matter how much it's going to cost me. It's expensive, by the way, guys. Really expensive.
Yeah.
So no matter how much it's going to, cost me, I want to get this. And I put my mind and I put my focus on it. I never told them I was doing it. I never did. So they only knew I was going to write the exam. And even when I passed the exam, mine, it was one time. One time I did, which you helped me also to Becky has been good though. Becky has been good though.
Oh my God.
Because she helps me now. She also helped me in the.
No, it's because also, what, guys. If you go back to the video that I did for getting a license, I also really suffer. For real, I've gone through the hard way. So whenever I get the opportunity to share the information needed just to make it a little bit easier for somebody, I'll gladly do it. Personally, I spent like 5,500 because I started in Stuttgart.
Yeah, you told me the story, yeah.
And I failed 2 times in Stuttgart, the practical.
You see, that's why I was happy that I did it once. Because
most people don't just pass on the first trial. So this was like, for you, it was an outlier. Like,
yeah, when I told my friends, my friends like, wow, you did once. I wrote twice.
Yeah.
I wrote because, you have to, it's two-phase, the theory and the practical aspect. So the theory, I wrote the theory twice, while the practical I did once. So, and it was a game changer for me because I said, okay, I want to be optimistic, I want to get this. But, they said getting it wasn't an easy journey. I was actually, along the line, I was frustrated. I was calling Becky and I'm calling Becky.
You get
Becky,
along the way you get frustrated.
But I think for me, Becky comes a long way in helping me by guiding me also with the license of a thing. And you know, which was really helpful. Thank you, by the way. And
High five for that. Teamwork.
yeah, teamwork. So yeah, it was. I put myself to that challenge in getting it, and you know, today I have it. Today, I move anywhere.
I think the most important thing is to surround yourself with people who you would like to. If you have a goal, surround yourself with somebody who's already achieved that goal, so you can learn one or two things on how they
Yes,
got
of course.
there, right?
It helps because literally everything is not money. Like I said, learning doesn't stop.
Yeah.
You learn, knowledge is not a waste. When you learn the ability to know, you learn it and it doesn't go away. You know it, you know it. So just like when you know how to drive, you can't take that knowledge away of how to drive.
No.
When you know how to cook, you can't learn how to. You don't have to take that knowledge away. So the continuous ability to learn gives you that mindset of improving,
improving yourself.
and stuff like that. And if I put it into the marital status of, you know, marriage and everything, the couples or the spouse, they learn about each other every single day for better understanding and for better, you know, equality and equity. So I give learning process as is a non-stop. If you are coming to Germany, you have to learn how to do this, you have to learn how to do that, you have to learn how to do this. Even when I'm learning how to drive, I learned how to do CPR for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
I learned how to give mouth to mouth, you know, the first time in my life. But, you know, I don't think anybody can take that away from me now that I've learned it. You know, I know how to administer it. I know what to do, how to do it. You know, it's the learning that can't be taken away. And these are what we, you know, this CPR of a thing, you know, is under the first aid training. And I think some of the doctors learn it and stuff like that, but most people don't know.
No.
Most people don't know, but the knowledge is already within me.
Yeah.
And I can administer it when I see anybody who's in trouble or something like that.
Yeah.
So that is it for me. And learning never stops.
Yeah.
That's one thing everybody has to take in from these subjects. Learning never stops. You have to keep learning. You have to keep evolving. Learning never stops.
Yeah.
We make mistakes in life as a human. We evolve and modify from our mistakes.
And never also be hard on yourself. You can make a mistake and still, you know, bounce back up and say, okay, fine, acknowledge you've made the mistake, then find ways to learn to correct yourself and do better next time.
Oh yes,
right?
yes. You
And
learn
keep
from
on
people.
growing.
You learn from people that are more experienced, more vibrant, and more, you know, articulated more than you in that area that you want to learn.
Yeah.
Because you cannot know everything.
Yeah, I know. You cannot.
So once I surround myself with those people that pushes you to be better, you move forward. You know, you go from point A and to point B. So now we can sit on that same table now and talk about the license.
Yes.
You
now you will not feel
now I will not
any
feel,
inferiority.
Yeah. So whatever else or whatever thing we need to learn, we still learn it again.
Yeah.
And we talk about it. And you know, one thing again I will tell you about is when you see people talk positively, key into the positive side of it. People don't allow the negative to berate you down. So pick about the positive side of the effect, whichever case, situation, or whatever you call it. A positive side, pick it.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
put it into
Action.
use and see it comes in handy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a really nice parting shot for our students who are, you know, looking into finding study opportunities abroad. Well, any parting shots for our audience?
Well, I think I've said a lot, and I think you have to learn a lot from my personal experience.
Yeah.
The parting shot I'm gonna say is be steadfast, be patient, and just keep being hopeful. Do not lose your hope, and yes, and for me, trust in God. You know, there's nothing I don't do without prayers. You know, just trust in God and, you know, put it in prayers. If you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, pray about it or whatever you do, because it helps. It also helps personally. I don't know about you, but
it helps to give you that
it helps to give you that encouragement and that faith of moving forward. You know, so for those coming in, I'm expecting to see you guys soon. And yeah, I'm expecting Becky to introduce. This is one of my students. and stuff like that. Yeah.
Anytime you want to reach out and speak to John, you can always reach out and
yes,
introduce you to him.
So whatever challenges you're going through, I will tell you from my experience, you should be, don't give up, never give up. And in as much as you're trying to start a new chapter in your life, don't give up, be steadfast, and keep pushing. I've given you my experience. It wasn't a pleasant one, but here I am today.
Yeah.
So don't give up, never give up.
Perfect.
All right.
So thank you so much for joining us, John. We really appreciate you taking your time to come and share your wisdom and knowledge with us.
I don't have wisdom.
Yes, you do. Well, guys, up until next time, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to share the video as much as you could, like it, as well as subscribe to the channel. And up to next time, take care. Bye.